Alright, welcome everyone. Today we are talking about the tier list of FFA. Now, I've been playing a lot. Recently, I came back and I tested before I did a huge pause. I wanted to do the tier list for FFA, but I haven't played FFA for 21 days, and after that, I came back and so my testing was completely right. Everything was perfect. I knew that's gonna happen, and that's how FFA will play out. Now, the sieves that I'm going to put, I'm not considering only their gold potential or unit potential for the late game, but how they can survive or can they survive. Note for yourself is that every sieve that's alone or in a corner are great. There is zero problem with them. So I'm gonna rate these civilizations based on experience and if they have a neighbor. If they have neighbor, then they're gonna have a harder time. And let me show you what I'm thinking about the civilizations in FFA Nomad, where guaranteed 100% civ is your neighbor. Because again, if you spawn in a corner alone, nobody's around you, then your civ is S++. But let me see. So the first civilization that we're gonna talk about that's really strong, and it's really good. If you have someone in the neighbor as well, you can easily deal with them. It's gonna be House of not House of Legacy, Zushi Legacy. If you have an opponent next to you, you can just Chigani rush very fast. And after that, you can just catch up with the age to the other players. You can even build 2 or 3 TCs. Because if you have a Zushi neighbor again, it's not hard to kill your neighbor, right? So let's say I'm Zushi, you're English. I'm not gonna have a hard time to kill you and also age up very fast. So later on, your economy is insanely good. Zushi economy is very nice. You have imperial officials as well. So thumbs up, love Zushi. There's only one better save than Zushi that I can put into S tier is China. China is insanely good. If you have a neighbor, you can throw them with the Barbican. You have faster building speed as well. You can build everything so much faster. It even makes much better duo with it. So yeah, China Zushi, because they have really good potential in feudal. They can age up very fast. They have imperial officials. They can make TCs very fast as well. Just pull out from their head, not from their head. So yeah, that is the reason why I put them into S tier. Then the civilization, which is good but not as good as the other civilization, is Abbasid. If you have a neighbor as Abbasid, it's insanely hard to do anything. You're gonna be very delayed. You can't even speed up your age. You're just gonna struggle a lot. Abbasid is insanely good civilization, but if you have a neighbor, you're gonna struggle a lot. So let's see. Next civilization I'm going to talk about is gonna be. Let's see. I think it's gonna be Byzantine. Byzantine also good civilization. I don't think they worthy for to be an S tier civilization when we have China and Zushi up there already. They are like not horrible, but they are fine. Not the best when you have the neighbor, because you still have a hard time to catch up to the other civilizations. Your olive oil is not as same as someone making gold, right? Because for olive oil you can only spend it on olive oil units. You can't get upgrades. You can't like switch to immediately to archers and fire arrows and so, right? So it's fine for you to have it, but at the same time, I think they are as good as Abbasid, but they are not as good as China or Zushi. If you have a neighbor, of course. Then, considering the next civilization is gonna be OOTD and HRE. So OOTD is not the best civilization at all, but again, we are talking about if you have a neighbor. If you have a neighbor, then OOTD is struggling insanely a lot. Because you are slow. You just spawn with 4 villagers. You don't even spawn with 5 villagers. So if you make a scout, it's even worse for you, right? So now you made a scout, amazing. what can I do, right? For villager, I gonna a little bit late with the HR. Maybe I gonna fast castle, but the other civilization can fast castle better, or they gonna feudal in me, and I have no chance, nothing to do against the feudal in. I beated so many OOTD players on FFA Nomad who fast castled, and that's it. Okay, so they did a fast castle, but I had like 20-30 military units already next to their TC, 3-4 rams when their castle is done. I already had 3-4 rams, and that's it. It was GG. They are not the worst, but they do struggle a lot. Then we have HRE. Again, their late game is fine if you can find Ragnits. They have no problem to fight people when they are in the neighborhood, right? So you can do a lot of aggression. After that, it's gonna be slowed down a little bit to age up to H3 or H4. It's not the worst, but many cases when you have a neighbor and you go Chapel, you miss out all the Minework upgrades, which is insanely horrible for you because Minework upgrades are instantly good. The all pike, the extra armor for the knight, and the Black Riders, which makes them like 9-9 upgrade, 9-9 armor in Imperial. So that makes them really, really good. But if you have a neighbor in FFA Nomad with HRE, you are fine. It's just hard to get on the level of like China or Zushi. The next civilization we're gonna talk about if you have a neighbor is Malian. Malian is not insanely bad, but I feel like they struggle a lot. If you have a neighbor next to you in FFA Nomad, they struggle a lot. They are not a bad civilization, but their late game unit composition is easily to know what they're gonna do, right? Because this is gonna be Sofa Archer or Sofa Mustafa the Gunner. There's like very, very low cases when you can see Farimba Garrison and let's say Freeborn Warriors. So they are not insanely bad, but they have some passive gold income, that's true as well. But again, I don't care if you spawn in the corner and you are alone, you are an S tier civilization anyway, right? So we are talking about a civilization that has a neighbor and what's their deal in the late game. Next one is gonna be Jeanne d'Arc. I think Jeanne d'Arc also an 8 tier civilization since they can deal with the neighbor very, very well. I think the Jeanne d'Arc can deal with all these three. You know what? Jeanne d'Arc has a really good late game economy with the guild hall. Jeanne d'Arc can deal with the neighbors with the most easiest, right? So you know what? Jeanne d'Arc deserves an S tier because Jeanne d'Arc has zero problem. Like, I play against so many Jeanne d'Arc players. I lost a couple of games to even a like let's say a top 15 Jeanne d'Arc player against me on the FFA Nomad. Because it's so annoying. Jeanne d'Arc is so annoying. You just age up to feudal. He's already there with level 2 Jeanne d'Arc and just poking you around with the archer Jeanne d'Arc or the Menaton Jeanne d'Arc, based on which one he's picking, right? So it's really annoying. Later on, Jeanne d'Arc has an insanely good economy thanks to the guild hall, and also that you can buff the siege workshop, right? So you can get cheaper siege, you can get cheaper units, you can get cheaper villager. Everything is cheaper. So Jeanne d'Arc is annoying, really good at destroying neighbors and catching up to the other civilizations because you make bridges cheaper as well. Then the next one is gonna be English. English is the same as Malian. They can't really deal well against the neighbors unless if your neighbor doesn't have gold. Then if he can easily deal with you, but even though you're gonna kill it, you can't catch up in time. English is very slow in the first 20-25 minutes compared to China or Zushi, insanely slow, and it's insanely hard to do a killing blow to your enemy. It takes so long to kill someone with English that eventually you will lose the game because you couldn't catch up to the other players that was already booming and ready to strike you. Not bad, they have the king, but the king is not equal to Jeanne d'Arc. It is annoying, but many cases the king is not able or capable to kill any villagers. Then we have the Mongols. Now the Mongols, I think I'm gonna put them in D tier. The reason behind that because the lack of walls. I mean, it's not really D tier. this is, you know what, we're gonna talk about this later because there is many things to talk about it. Then we're gonna put our sieve into S plus plus because goddamn this sieve is so like there is no problem with KT in FFA Nomad. In 1 versus 1 they suck ass, but in FFA Nomad they are so good. You don't have a potential of losing out, catching up the age with the other players. You age up insanely fast. Your age starts when you have like 20 villagers. You have 20 villagers, then you press the age. You age up, let's say at 7 or 8 minute mark. Okay, so listen to me. Every civilization ages up at 7, right? KT ages up at like 7, 8 as well, and can drop down 2 extra TCs. So when every civilization aged up, KT ages up as well at the same time and can drop down to TC. Insanely strong. Um, your late game economy is broken as hell. You have literally zero problem dealing with neighbors if you go sergeant, you feudal. You can destroy ramps in 1 second. KT is one of the most insane broken civilization that you can play in FFA Nomad. So yeah, here you go. That's the most broken one. Then we have Japanese. Japanese is the same as OOTD. They are fast are good. They're hardly dealing with the neighbors. If you have a neighbor, it's really hard to deal with them to be equally good, right? So you can deal with your neighbor. That's not the biggest problem. But at the same time, it's not as easy as like dealing with HR or OOTD. Okay, let's see. Next one, Delhi. Um, Delhi is the worst when if you have a their late game is insanely good. Their elephants are insanely good. But when we are talking about the first 15 minutes, you know how many Delhi one trick ponies I see losing? Like let's say he got top 15 by spamming Delhi. I get into the same lobby as him. I get him as a neighbor and it's like sucking. Sorry, he's just dying. Delhi has literally no chance to catch up to the other players. The reason why I'm not putting into D tier because I think Delhi is instantly strong in late and Imperial, but it's so hard to survive. Even if you survive, let's say you kill an OOTD with Delhi or you kill a Japanese, there is, you know how insanely hard to catch up to the other civilizations? It's crazy. So it's really hard to catch up to the other civilizations when you kill your neighbor, and you're gonna have a hard time. So yeah, that's Delhi for you. Also going to TC is really like everything is hard for Delhi. You have to pick a good location where you don't have neighbors. If you have neighbors, you're gonna have an insanely hard time. Then you have House of Lancaster. House of Lancaster goes into S tier as well because you literally ignore. So if you have one player in your neighborhood, you just ignore it. You just make manners. If they are trying to ramp push you, you already have the Demi Lancer. You can easily destroy the ramps, and the manners plus the Lancaster Castle will protect your base without a problem. So Lancaster, thumbs up. You are broken as hell, just like China and Zushi, but not as like 80. Then we have Ottoman. Ottoman struggles with this. Like I had so many games when I played as the Ottoman. I tried to do something aggressive, right? Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna push that. We're gonna push here. But the problem was that even though I tried, I really did try. I couldn't come back to the same level or to the same time where I can just boom, because when I killed, let's say, the English or Delhi, the enemy already H3 or H4, and all I see like 20 knights or 20 men at armor or whatever units just pushing to my base, and yeah, so I'm dead. But if you go to the late game with Ottoman, in the late game they are insanely strong thanks to the Sipahi and the Great Bombard. Then we have Rus. I think Rus is not the best civilization, but they are not the greatest to deal with neighbors. They are good. They have passive income. They are fine. You can win with games with Rus, no problem at all. But I feel like there are like other civilization that's much better, much stronger, can do the same thing but better, right? So I would put Rus into A tier, considering if you have a neighbor and the comeback potential to the game. Then we have Mongols, French, and Ayubid. Well, French goes into B. Their French is not as annoying as Jeanne d'Arc. It is fine, but it's, I think it's just fine. It has faster villager production, so you are not falling behind like Daddy English or Malian because you make villagers faster. You have a fine um, imperial economy and everything. It's fine. So I would say this is like you know what? I gotta rename this like balanced, right? Good, super, and insane, and struggle, and let's say well, I'm not gonna put anything into D tier. I'm not gonna put anything. So these civilizations will struggle for sure to come back to the game, just like Mongol and Ayubid. I think they are balanced as well. So let's go up from top to the bottom. Why I put the civilization into them, right? So Katie can deal with the neighbors, can 3TC, age up, 20 reserve, everything fine. Broken as fucking late game economy. You can have more gold than 10 or 11 relic HRE. I'm not even joking. If there is zero gold on the map, you can have more gold than 10, 11 relic HRE because your gold per minute is like 2,200 with the pilgrims alone. I'm not even counting the traders that you can make with the Venetian. You have Chanan and Zushi. They deal with their neighbors insanely well and have no problem to catch up with villagers. Or if you have two neighbors, they can still deal with them with no problem. Same with JD, insanely annoying. It's crazy how annoying JD is if you have a JD player very, very close to you. Same with House of Lancaster, they just don't care. They just shit on you. If you try to ramp push House of Lancaster while doing the manor boom, you're gonna see 11 demu lancer, 11 bold guy just coming out to the manor, it's like, hey, I'm British but at the same time Swedish. So those giga chads will come outside from the manor and spank your rams. Like all you see, like you made two ram trying to destroy the manor, like those giga chads just coming outside from the manor like, hey brother, I'm gonna beat you up. Then we have HRE, Byzantine, Abbasid, and Rus. They can surprisingly a little bit deal with their neighbor. If they deal with the neighbor, that they can come back into the game well. It's like good, right? But not as good as like Malian or English or Delhi or Mongols. So they're like fine, but could be better, you know. Then we have OOTD, Japanese, Ottoman, French, and Ayurved. Because I feel like they can, their chance to deal with the neighbor and come back into the game is much harder compared to the other civilizations, right? Because the tool they have is just not enough. Like if you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guild in Manhattan made a ram, you lose like 4 of them. You kill the king. You have like one ram alive, and suddenly just fucking HRE shows up with 20 Manhattan from Burger. So it's like it's fine, but if you have a neighbor, it's you're gonna struggle a lot. Just like Japanese, Ottoman, French, and the Ayubid. So if you play with Malian, English, Dari, and Mongol, and if you have a neighbor, then you're gonna struggle a lot. So let's say you killed the guy next to you, right? You killed it, you got the king, or maybe he donated the king, then you are in absolute shit ass situation. If you are four of this civilization and the enemy kills your king, you are absolutely shitty situation. Absolutely shitty situation. So yeah, you're gonna struggle a lot. It's hard to come back to the game to catch up to the other players, and eventually you will just bleed out and get destroyed by the other H4 players. But before you're gonna say that is insanely broken and like should be insane because the elephants, This tier list is not based if you are in a fucking corner wanking your dick with like a crazy maniac. Every civilization is insane when they are like alone in a corner. Like, hello, that's a player alone in the corner doing literally absolutely nothing, just making 69 fucking TCs and 420 villagers. Like, of course, every civilization is gonna be broken. But this, we are considering that you have a neighbor, you have to deal with it, and how fast is the comeback into the game. So that was the point of making this tier list for FFA Nomad. Alright? So thank you so much for watching, and enjoy FFA Nomad.